And they're off Saturday, August 23rd. Last weekend news wind down of the summer. We're taking off next week for Labor Day weekend to celebrate Labor Day weekend, but it's Saturday and we're live. And it's WNWD Weekend News Wind Down every Saturday. Lots to get through. Lots happened in the last week. Big meeting. We all know about the big meeting last week. All major European leaders at the White House. Germany, France, Italia. It was like the World Cup. Except America finally was competitive this year. No Latin American representatives. They all got kicked out. And they won't make it back over the wall. You hear this? Homeland Security chief kick him out, Christie. Says the whole wall will be painted black. Gonna get so hot from the black paint, no one will even think of climbing. And if anyone does get even close to the top, they'll be met with hell. Fury. They'll be met with the hologram of a dancing Trump. and speakers blasting YMCA. Hey, you thinking about climbing that wall? You sure? You sure you want to do that? Pretty hot. What's that? You got gloves made of ice, you say? All right, try getting to the top. See what happens to you. You sure you want to go? You sure you want to climb that wall? I think you better think twice. We're here live. We are here live recording in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Site of the Fed meeting. Jerome Powell hints at a rate cut. Cash Money Patel. I think he misheard Jerome Powell. He rated John Bolton's home to give that guy a mustache cut. I think Trump just got tired of seeing that mustache. Fluffy mustache. Going across the states here in the U.S. Minnesota joins a group of states doing TikTok for allegedly preying on young people. They're calling it naturally Project Epstein. Going across these great states of the USA. And coming back east from the great state of Minnesota and home to New York, New York. The MTA, the entity that runs the public transit system, is looking to increase the subway fares again. That's right, again. Lots of New Yorkers are angry. They're saying affordability getting out of control. In fact, New Yorkers are so angry at the cost of living, they're demanding rats start paying their fair share. They've been free riding too long. New Yorkers so desperate, they'll actually accept payments in a bag of chips now. Highlighting American business, big business. Hertz. The car rental company says they will sell cars on Amazon now. Hertz trying it all. They even said they're going to start trying to sell cars on OnlyFans. But they'll only be showing their tires and their feet. Here we are, another week. Weekend news wind down. WNWD every Saturday. This is LIVE. Only way to be. LIVE. It is all the way. All the way. It is all the way. Live, live, live. Slippity slide. Don't you dare miss an episode. Don't you dare climb that wall. You better be 15 minutes. 15 minutes early. Late. Better be on Friday. It's live. All the way live. It's all the way. It's live, 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 live. LIVE. Yeah, it is all the way. LIVE. Live, 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 live. Let's get to it. We got a lot to go on. We got some good music. We got some new cuts from Robert Glasper. We got Trump. We got some good footage of Trump doing some victory laps for taking over DC. Probably going a little too far. Yeah, just a little bit. A little bit. Probably just going a little too far. Yeah, just a little bit. I think you went a little too far. But with something like a FEMA, you wanna leave everything to the states, but you want to get the federal government involved by sending troops? Oh, come on. Come on. A lot of these moves, if you stand back and look at them, I mean, they're just like, they're attacks on fellow Americans. I mean, what happened last week? What against, what do you do to the bad guy? You know, the guy who invaded another country. You welcome him with open arms and red carpet. What if the leader of Gaza came? How would you treat that guy if you wanted to make a peace deal? But it's like you send troops, quote unquote. It looks like troops. I mean, we don't know the nuances. Most people probably don't know the nuances of what National Guard is and the limitations. There's probably a lot more details that we don't know about. what they can or can't do, but it's the optics. On the one hand, he's strong. Yeah, he's sick and tired of the deadbeats ruining our cities. Yeah, but overall, crime's down. Crime's down. So we're so sweet to Putin, the bad guy. From what I see, he looks like a bad guy from what we're told. Shame on the president doing this under the guise of like some strategy. Shame on American leadership for not having any kind of principles or a point of view. Shame on all these cable news and social media wackos. We're just trying to find a way to divide people and take a side. Gosh, so Biden, Democrats, uh, stupid young kids who do stupid shit in cities all across the country, they're the bad people. So we want to make peace with with the bad guy who invaded another country, just continues to bomb the fuck out of another country. You want to make peace with that guy? Nice and sweet with him. And then we'd let that guy get away with saying that he wouldn't have started the war if Trump was the president. Remind me again, what did Sleepy Joe do that forced Putin's hand into Ukraine? Shame on, shame on, shame on some voices with power in this country. Gosh. So if Trump was here for 8 years, Putin would have what? Just waited, not to invade Ukraine. If he's here for that 8 consecutive years before he lost to Biden for the second four, so take away that loss to Biden, and let's say Trump won 8 years in a row. So he was here for 8 years in a row. Putin wouldn't have invaded Ukraine in 2022. And Trump's what, 6th year of his second term? So what should we do? Have Trump be the president for life so Putin doesn't invade other countries? Gosh. Obama's treasonous. Fox is treasonous. CNN, they're all treasonous. They all want to divide America for profits and for viewers, and it's a shame. But we'll just have to be a generation that survives this. But we'll get there. We'll get better. We'll get real news. We'll get objective news. We'll get weekend news. Wind down. Where weekend news wind down will host a peace summit between Sleepy Joe and emotional Trump. Here, I'll host it right here. Let's get right to the news. Let's get right to it. Let's get to the news. Here we are. Let's get to the news, folks. We'll start with the journal. Remember, we got Robert Glasper. Some new cuts from him. Here we go. Let's run it down. The Pentagon has quietly blocked Ukraine's long-range missile strikes on Russia. The Defense Department has withheld approval for attacks as the White House has sought to entice Moscow to open peace talks. They got that information from Pete Hegseth Signal Chat. He opened up another Signal Chat. Remember that story? Man, that guy's good. U.S. releases Abrego Garcia from custody and seeks to deport him to Uganda so he can go and meet Mamadani. Lawyers for the Salvadoran say officials are trying to pressure him to choose between a guilty plea on human smuggling charges or rendition to a country where they say safety would be under threat. Oh gosh, what's the cost of this? Trump looks to Chicago next in federal crackdowns. Let's see what's this. Let's see after Trump's victory lap in D.C. Chicago is likely next night to be targeted by the Trump administration. Chicago will likely be next target in what President Trump has called a crackdown on crime. Crime of deep dish pizza. I mean, I'm from New York, right? Yeah, we need a thin slice. Oh, prompting pushback from city and state leaders who called it possible deployment of National Guard troops in overreach of federal power. Chicago's a mess. It's a mess. We'll straighten that one out probably next, and we'll help with New York. All right, so help them out. So then, what are the local cops gonna do? The Trump administration deployed National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. this month and to Los Angeles earlier this year. The president describes the attacks as part of an effort to make cities safer. These actions have elicited questions over the role of military power in U.S. soil and criticism from local Democrat leaders. We've got some footage actually of Trump here in D.C. taking a victory lap. Here's footage of Trump taking a victory lap after he deployed troops to D.C. and made them safer. Man, he's confident. He's cool. He's rolling on tank. He's driving through the city. Hey, you get out of the way. We're having a good time. Hey, young man out there on the street. Young man, get out of the street because I'm on a tank. Get out of my way. All right, here we go. Here's a tour of Donald Trump on the tank, taking a victory lap. That guy's in a flow state, baby. Here he is, cruising down A Street, B Street in Washington, Y Street in Washington, Y Street in Washington, M Street in Washington, C Street, A Street, Y Street. We got another scene of him passing through DC, which is now turned into a Tiananmen Square. State capitalists going against each other, the U.S. state capitalists against the Chinese, influencing each other. They love the real estate, they love their properties, so they redesigned DC to look like Tiananmen Square. Wow. Can you feel it, DC? Can you feel the safety? I can. Oh, I can. This is actual footage. This is real good footage here. There's no need to feel down. Say, young man, pick yourself up. Cause you're in a new town. There's no need. I'm gonna join in this. DC, you, hey, yo, young man, get out of the streets of DC. Join ICE. Do something good for your country. To have a good time. Join ICE. Take people out. It's fun to say at the Y Street, Y Street, M Street, Y Street, M Street, Street, A Street, U Street in Washington, K Street lobbyist. Yeah, here's a reminder. Last week, when we mentioned that the U.S. is marching towards state capitalism with American characteristics, The U.S. marches towards with a marching band. Having a look at old glory as we march on by. Here we go. The U.S. marches towards state capitalism with American characteristics. Go to an article here that I flipped. I think it's relevant to what I mentioned last week when I brought up government overreach from Sleepy Joe's carrying of the baton and big government getting way too involved with the changing of the guard of the American way, becoming state capitalist. It's China and USA in a two-horse race. It's a two-horse race between state capitalists run by the Chinese and state capitalists run by Trump. They're neck and neck. They're at the top of the stretch. Xi Jinping's in the lead because he's just a natural-born state communist capitalist. But Donald Trump, he's still got it in him. He's got something underneath him. He's ready to unleash and catch up to the front runner here. He's got some ground to make up. Big businessman with deep state government interventionist tendencies. Go into this a little bit here. Friedrich Hayek, an Austrian economist, warned of the danger of government ownership stakes in major companies. Oh. What? What? No. 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 That can't be right. That can't be right. Let's see. Let's dig deeper. The Trump administration is pursuing federal ownership stakes in companies such as Intel and U.S. Steel, ostensibly to advance national security and domestic manufacturing. Yet, these moves risk leading us down the road to serfdom that Friedrich Hayek warned against in 1944. And exactly what Glenn Beck became a fucking trillionaire on, scaring America into Obama being the socialist. How ironic. Such actions paved the way for future administrations to impose DEI, environmental and regulatory mandates on businesses through backdoor control. No, really? No, come on, that can't be. That cannot be true. Recent developments, a proposed stake in Intel to accelerate chip production, a golden share granting veto power over many of U.S. Steel's decisions following its acquisition by Nippon Steel, and the Pentagon's 15% equity in the rare earth mining company MP Materials would all expand federal control over the means of production. Hayek warns in The Road to Serfdom. Go watch old episodes of Glenn Beck when he was scaring everybody against Obama. I think he got the wrong guy. That state ownership threatens both prosperity and liberty. As he defined it, socialism involves state ownership and direction of the economy, which President Trump's policies increasingly resemble. Who authored this? Who wrote this article? Wait a second. You're sounding too smart here, Daniel J. Smith. Daniel J. Smith.
You're fired.
Sorry, pal. Sorry.
You're fired.
Sorry, pal. Sorry, pal. Sorry, pal. Sorry, pal. Sorry. Daniel J. Smith. Sorry. Hayek recognized that government ownership of the economy centralizes decision making, which is dangerous. Business operating and free markets are better at determining what to produce and in what volume. They also have a greater incentive to produce goods efficiently and to compete on price. A government stake in Intel could override market-driven innovation, favoring bureaucratic priorities over consumer needs. You don't say, Daniel J. Smith. You know too much. State ownership also expands public sector employment, leading to concentrated special interest groups and the suppression of dissent. Even a moderate share of federal ownership would be a powerful bargaining chip for striking unions, especially if Democrat sat in the White House. It wasn't only classical liberals like Hayek, Walter Lippmann, and Orville Watts who recognized the dangers of state ownership. Mid-20th century socialists like Abba Lerner and Oscar Lange acknowledged that private ownership forms a bulwark of political democracy. Historical evidence confirms these hypotheses. In our academic study, Daniel Smith's academic study, you have nothing to lose but your chain. The co-authors and Daniel Smith found the strong association between state ownership and suppression of civil liberties. Oh, Daniel Smith, you are talking too much. Whoa, wow, you're playing with fire here, man. Going back to 1789, we didn't find a single example. They didn't find a single example of a socialist country that sustained a high degree of democratic freedom. Mr. Trump's statist policies will make it easier for future administrations to reverse his dismantling of DEI, environmental and regulatory excesses.
You're fired.
Oh, stop, Dan. You are saying too much. When the Federal Reserve bailed out the bond market during the pandemic, Representative Maxine Waters urged Chairman Jerome Powell to impose conditions that protect existing collective bargaining agreements and require eligible businesses to guarantee workers full paid leave, worker representation on corporate boards, and a $15 minimum wage. With stakes in companies such as Intel, such demands could become mandates enforced through ownership rather than bailouts. Oh no, it couldn't possibly. Trump's one of the good guys. He's one of the good deep statists. Not that Mr. Trump has crossed the Rubicon. Republicans will have no objection to the federal government expanding state ownership of companies. Even if well-intentioned, Mr. Trump's actions erode the GOP's free market credentials.
You're fired.
Stop it. Stop it, Daniel Smith. Stop it, Mr. Smith of the Political Economy Research Institute and professor at Middle Tennessee State University. You're fired. Fire the whole fucking staff. Fire the gym teacher, too, of that school. Even if well-intentioned, right? To repeat, that erodes one political party in America's free market credentials, which were also supposed to include lower taxes. So tariffs are cool now? Lawmakers will soon argue that if chips and steel are too important to leave free markets, food and medicine are as well. Daniel Smith, you better cut that out.
You're fired. You're fired.
Mr. Trump's recent intervention risks economic distortion and decline, and they erode the liberties that Hayek held dear. Conservatives must reclaim their free market roots before Mr. Trump leads us down the road to serfdom. Well said. Well said, Mr. Smith, but you're out of here. You're fired. Don't be too smart. Oh, okay, before I close that tab. Here's actually nice. Here's a nice action and approach to finding some middle ground between China and the US. Here is Xi Jinping. Yep, it's Xi Jinping. It is Xi Jinping and Donald Trump having a karaoke battle, which is nice. I think this is going to lead us to make a good deal. This is Xi Jinping and Donald Trump karaoke of YMCA. Before I, but before I do that, so this is what we need. This is what we need. We need in the world peace. We need Xi Jinping and Donald Trump to get into a karaoke off, sing off, make peace, make the deal, and yeah, yeah. But and they can both share their state capitalist dreams together, but peacefully. Got some new joints from Modern Jazz. Cat doing the damn thing. This is Robert Glasper from his new album called Co-Derivation. This one is called Room 112. I guess it's RM 112, but I suppose it's Room 112. Where the players dwell. Robert Glasper, Room 112. Weekend news wind down. That's room 112. Robert Glasper. Co-derivation. Co-derivation. Robert Glasper. Let's get back up and running here. Let's get back to the race. All right, we're moving on from Chicago. We're going on to this kid that was like a dance star for a few days. This guy was the hottest kid in the world, the coolest cat in the world. This video by Ryan Arkandika, the world's coolest kid. Advertisement. Where's the video? Ah, okay, yeah. Look at this. The world's coolest kids. Ladies and gentlemen, you got him here. Weekend News Wind Down. The world's coolest kid. On a boat race. Let's see that vid. Oh, look at how cool this kid is. YMCA. Oh shit, mad cool. The coolest kid. Whoa, whoa. Mad rich from crypto. Nah, he's buying crypto. Oh, cool. Wow. Wow, that was the coolest kid. What? YMCA. Mad rich. Selling tariffs. Buying and selling tariffs in crypto. Mad rich. Yeah, coolest cat. One of the coolest kids in the world right there. He can work on his name though. Ryan Arkandika. Nah, not too catchy. Probably never be a star. Probably never be a star at a Trump level. Trump's new car loan tax might break your brain. Like, you mean like everything else, Trump? When the listing appointment ends with a tour of an underground Y2K bunker. To fight Trump, Gavin Newsom acts more like him. Okay, the California governor is adopting a combative social media persona as well as partisan gerrymandering to counter the president. They could be the president. I don't know what. Maybe he just has to have a good digital game. Look at him. He's like a handsome guy. He's governor of the richest state in the world. Let's see what he's doing. California Governor Gavin Newsom is taking a more aggressive approach against Trump. Mirroring Trump's tactics on social media, Newsom is pushing to redraw California's congressional map. And Newsom's actions are drawing praise from Democrats, but also criticism, as gerrymandering remains broadly unpopular. Oh, look. Newsom recently called the president a snowflake, accused him of wearing makeup, and highlighted Trump's bad polling. Oh my God, that's where you hit him the hardest. Bad polls. Some say the attention is welcome for a politician considering a future presidential run. But his new chat carries risk. You got to do it the right way, that's for sure. You got to do it the right way. It's going to come off either like weak or not genuine or but the California effort for gerrymandering to redraw the maps isn't a sure thing. Unlike in Texas, where lawmakers can change the maps on their own, California voters previously approved an independent redistricting commission. Newsom and Democrats are asking these voters to overrule their past disdain for partisan redistricting to oppose Trump. Voters will be asked to approve new maps, which could eliminate as many as 5 GOP seats and help make several vulnerable Democrats safer. Newsom told reporters the House Democrats' campaign arm submitted the original map and then it was amended by California lawmakers. A Reuters Ipsos poll Thursday found most Americans felt the gerrymandering efforts are bad for democracy. Agreed. Earlier this month, a Politico Citron Center survey found about 2/3 of Californians prefer keeping their independent commission. A poll produced for the LA Times this week found the plurality of voters would support the measure, but many still were undecided. Newsom has dismissed the polling. He said he is confident that new maps will pass. Arnold Schwarzenegger was California governor. So we have California here. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger here. Yeah, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger, who was California governor when voters approved the independent commission. Recently posted a photo of himself working out in a T-shirt that says, "Fuck the politicians, terminate gerrymandering, terminate. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back to terminate California. I'll be back to terminate California. Arnold Schwarzenegger will be back to terminate Gavin Newsom and Governor of California and to fuck the politicians, terminate gerrymandering forever." I was in the gym. I was just recently in the gym wearing a T-shirt when I was working out in a T-shirt that says "Fuck the politicians, terminate gerrymandering." The ballot measure is also opposed by some nonpartisan groups, such as the League of Women Voters and the League of the Temperance Movement from the 1920s. California has been a model. Oh, wrong person. Oh, that's a group CEO, not Arnold again. Arnold's back in the gym. California has been a model for independent redistricting. Good, I agree with that. Democratic leaders for now, at least, see no peril. Former President Barack Obama has endorsed the idea. Other potential presidential candidates have applauded Newsom's decision, including Kentucky Governor Andy Bashir. He tried to respect things, said Gary South, a longtime California Democratic strategist who's worked with Newsom. It doesn't work with Trump. He just thinks you're a sap. He just thinks you're a sucker. He said more Democrats should follow Newsom's lead. Meanwhile, Newsom's team continues to troll the president and Republicans on social media. The golden era begins in a golden state, all because of me, the people's governor, the cartographer in chief, who will now let the people vote. Thank you, USA. Wow. Gavin with the jokes, signing off as GCN. Wow. What does Arnold have to say about that? I was a governor, California governor, when voters approved the independent commission. I recently posted when I was working out in the gym and Gold Gym in Beverly Hills in a T-shirt that says "Fuck the politicians, terminate gerrymandering." Texas legislators approved GOP redistricting requested by Trump. Trump also requested one of those nice kind of Texas hats and a nice pair of boots. How tech is tackling the new age verification rules, selfies, government IDs, and AI are all being used by companies in an effort to adhere to new laws and regulations aimed at protecting children. He's Michigan football royalty, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to, I love football. When it comes to royalty, I don't want to hear it. I'm all American, baby. I'm all American, baby. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, and forever in peace may it wave. Let's see what this is. Isamu Noguchi, Landscapes of Time Review. Is this a Noguchi Museum in New York? An exhibition of the modernist work in materials like basalt, granite and aluminum, survey his interests and subjects from youth and aging to death and war. Oh, this is in Williamstown, Massachusetts. Sculptures of Isamu Noguchi was born in 1904 to 1988 are enigmatic, boundless, timeless. This is Noguchi. Oh, look at that piece. Time thinking. Wow, that's pretty cool. Noguchi spin-off number 2 from the Sunken Garden, Chase Manhattan Bank Plaza. Because you got it. You definitely have to display that in the bank when they're in the banking world and finance. They just get it. They get the artwork, but only if it's worth something. Noguchi's Remembrance. Wow, it's a pretty cool room. All right. And let's get to the quiz. Let's get to a fun quiz here. Oh, no. Let's get right to it. Here's question 1 of 9. Monica Lewinsky is the producer of a new TV series about whom? No, it's not Bill Clinton. Is it Elizabeth Holmes, Amanda Knox, Eddie Lamar, or herself? I'm going to guess Amanda Knox. Correct. Question 2. Air Canada reached a deal to end the strike by flight attendants. What was the key obstacle in the talks? Was it overnight accommodations, pension contributions, pay for time spent boarding passengers, monolingual flight training? Oh boy, I have no idea. Pension contribution. Pay for time spent boarding passengers? Wow, okay. All right, 1 for 2. Question number 3. Whose voters overwhelmingly rejected socialists in the presidential election and then voted for Donaldo Trumpo? Bolivia, Chile, Paraguay, the Democratic Socialists of America. Oh, it's definitely Bolivia because they voted for Donaldo Trumpo. Question 4. Fast-growing Alpha School is launching a New York City out. What's its educational philosophy? Is it training alpha male gorillas? Is it education in the Hellenic tradition? Is it embracing AI, shunning DEI, and having every male graduate talk like this? Like, what? They graduate? They graduate? And then they like come out talking like this? They all graduate the program and they come out talking like this. So it's probably like, C, embracing AI, shunning DEI. Yeah, it's lit. Question 5. The new name will be MS Now. What was the old name? Is it Mademoiselle? The National Multiple Sclerosis Society? Simon and Schuster? MSNBC? MSNBC. All right. Question 6. Unlucky spiders are turning into crusty white corpses as a result of what? A virus? A fungus? Chitin mites? Social media? My guess is social media. I'm going to say fungus. Okay, all right. An investment group will take Soho House private. Who's currently the Giant Club's controlling shareholder? Ron Burkle, Bron Jeremy, Ken Griffey Jr., David Tupperware, or Sherman Helmsley? George Jefferson, Sherman Helmsley. I'm going with Sherman Helmsley. Ron Burkle. A new book chronicles the time Henri Matisse spent developing a new painting style. In what country? Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt. I'm going to say Morocco. Ah, nice. All right. And the last one. President Trump ordered 3 destroyers to stop narcotic shipments off the coast of South America. Which of these isn't among the vessels? Is it USS Homer Simpson? Is it USS Gravely? Gravy? Is it USS Jason Statham? That actor. Is it USS Arleigh Burke? I'm going to say Gravely. USS Gravely the Third. It's actually Arleigh Burke. Let's keep going. Why a landmark settlement on realtor fees hasn't cut costs. Experts point to everything from buyers' reluctance to bargain to the housing market slump for reasons why commissions remain stuck. Scientists scrub diversity from research with a few taps on the delete button. Researchers are amending language in grants to keep federal funding and avoid getting flagged in the Trump administration's push against DEI. Hampton's billionaires, darling, call these doctors for Botox. Everything from aesthetic touch-ups to 911 emergencies. The wealthy are calling on providers who charge membership fees ranging from a few $1,000s to 6 figures a year, baby. Lifestyles of the Hamptons billionaires. They call these doctors for a good time. Powell's rate cuts. Get your rate cuts here. Signal reflects economy's delicate position. The Fed chair's measured approach leans towards cautious easing amid a curious labor market. Despite inflation perils, get your rate cuts here. Rate cuts here. Get your rate cuts here. Rate cuts here. Get your rate cuts. Both Menendez brothers, in prison for murdering their parents, have been denied parole. What a crazy story. Jeez. We spent 6 hours at an ICE training school. Here's what we learned. The Trump administration has touted success in getting new recruits, but training them will take more time. Let's see what the training is like. Boom. Boom. You're dead. You're dead, illegal. You're dead, Venezuelan guy. I'm an ICE student. I'm going to shoot your ass. ICE aims to add deportation officers, hiring 10,000 new recruits due to pressure from the White House. To meet quotas, ICE has loosened training standards, such as dropping the Spanish course and reducing in-person training from 16 to 8 weeks. And leave it a couple of weeks, you won't have to do anything. You'll just go in there, open a Facebook account, and you qualify. You qualify. No, open a Truth Social account and follow Trump, and you qualify. Hang on, guys. Don't go in there yet. New training includes how to respond to rocks being thrown, and officers can wear face coverings due to increased assault and doxing. What? Face coverings? What are they? COVID weirdos? Where the hell is RFK? Where's RFK? RFK, do those ICE soldiers really need to wear masks? Inside the Lobkin Push by Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is inside the lobbying push that put Ukraine's missing children on Trump's agenda. Too rich for college aid. Can't afford full price. How one family made it work. Target's new CEO, what we discussed last week, he already has his critics. He's got a tough job. He wants to get back into the place that delivers some kind of unique, special fashion offerings and pleasant shopping experience. He's got a lot of work to do. Look at this. Christopher Mims, beautiful name, drove an EV deep into the wilderness, and he never feared running out of juice. You got the juice now, Christopher. Wow, look at this guy. He drove past the airplane Boner at the Mojave Air and Spaceport in a Rivian. Yeah, look, road trips in the EVs have evolved from nightmares to a breeze due to the rapid expansion of America's fast charging infrastructure. Yeah, wait until Trump pulls the plug on you guys. He's gonna pull the plug on all those EV chargers. And like the cord is going to be in the White House. And nobody can unplug it. The main cord, the main outlet. He's going to run a cable all across the country that plugs into the White House. There are nearly 12,000 fast charging stations and 60,000 total ports in the U.S. The country is projected to have 180,000 fast charging ports by 2030. EV charging is now widely available. All right, there he is. Cool. Cruising. All right. Let's see where he made a stop. First stop, BP Pulse LAX Aviation Hub. Stop 2, Valencia, California. 3, Charge Point. Stop 4. EV Go in Fresno. Prunedale, California, you're next. Monterey, California, can we hear you? Can we hear you at Charge Point? EV Go at Marina, California, Electrify America, keep America electrified. Paso Robles, California, we see you. Pismo Beach, California, the Rivian Adventurer Network. Last stop, the Tesla Diner for a nice cold Coca-Cola and a battery charge. Wow. Pretty cool. Charging an EV, note this, charging an EV at home is almost always cheaper than buying gas for an equivalent car. On the road, it's more variable, with higher prices for faster charging and discounts for network memberships. Without such discounts, the author paid as much for electricity on this trip as he would have paid for gas in a traditional SUV. What? Wow. Look, venturing into Sequoia National Park isn't something you might have done with an EV just a few years ago. There he is, cool, charging, electric, electrified. There he is, ending it. The Tesla Diner. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Very cool, America. Keep it going. Partisan shot fired in Texas reverberates around the country. Gerrymandering, redistricting. Mortgage fraud accusations. They're back. They're fun. They're the new political weapons. Trump soured on Falkender, leading to exit from Treasury.
You're, you're fired.
Ah, you're done. NVIDIA's roller coaster for China AI chips takes a new turn. The chip designer halts production of the H20 AI chip that it developed for China after Beijing told companies they were not to buy it. You don't buy this. Bruce Springsteen, 50 years after Born to Run, they took a trip to Springsteen country. They plan to make Hooters delightfully tacky again. Let's see this. Let's see this. All right, okay, go America. You're still doing it. Servers at Chicago Hooters. Neil Kiefer aims to revitalize Hooters by updating locations, shortening the menu, and shortening the shorts, and reverting to the chain's original delightfully tacky image. Kiefer plans to acquire 50 bankrupt Hooters locations, become CEO of the management company, and reintroduce the original orange shorts uniform. Hooters of America filed for bankruptcy due to inflation, reduced consumer spending, and rising debt, despite a peak of $1.2 billion. Despite a peak of $1.2 billion in 2009. Wow. Kids like Maxwell discusses Trump and says he's so amazing. Spirit Airlines is in trouble. If you're talking about restructuring, you're in trouble. Trump Intel agreed to 10% U.S. stake as president promises more deals. More deals means more. and the brave as the U.S. marches towards state capitalism with American characteristics. Trump is imitating Chinese Communist Party. China, China, Communist Party. Trump, Trump, America, Communist Party, state, capitalist, Communist Party. Doing it for national security, just like Xi Jinping is doing it. Conversion of the CHIPS Act grants to equity will likely be followed by other moves to help troubled chip maker, the analysts say. President Trump. Too much. President Trump stated the government is taking nearly 10% a stake in Intel after discussions about the company's future made way. The agreement follows the land I love. Trump and the Intel CEO live Bhutan after Trump called for Tan to resign over China. So he can be like China and be like a communist controlling economy. Intel shares gained on Friday because markets love government ownership. Intel shares gained Friday, adding to the rebound from reports about the government stake and $2 billion SoftBank infusion. Da da da. Da 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 da. Let's see the 7 house painting mistakes. Proceed most often. How you can avoid them and stop being a communist. Furniture stocks retreat after Trump threatens tariffs on imports. Powell flips his script. Trump's vendetta campaign targets Bolton. What do teachers think of equitable grading? All right. Before we slide over, maybe we'll go into the world section. Got another joint. We got another joint from Robert Glasper. This is Madiba, like Mandela, Nelson Mandela, Madiba, Robert Glasper. So we're up to 5,000. 5,000. More than 5,000 companies have been nationalized. Yeah, thank you. That was Robert Glasper with Madiba. Let's go to the world. Let's go and see the world. Let's go and see the world. Decades after the genocide, Rwanda emerges as aggressive regional power. Go. Good for you, Rwanda. Show them that you're moving on and improving. Don't just be some fact that some people know about. They think they know where your country is. Go do your thing. We saw the lobbying push from Lindsey Graham. Europe's fragile energy lifeline exposed by Ukraine's strikes in Russia. Ukraine's attacks encouraged by President Trump disrupted flows and triggered angry actions from regional leaders. Trump gives familiar 2-week deadline for next steps to end the war in Ukraine. Oh, God. Canada to remove 25% tariff from some U.S. goods. All right. Oh, here's probably another success that Trump gave another deadline on. Gaza. Remember, emotional Trump Club members, when all is said and done, you get complimentary access to the Gaza Strip, to the resort on the Gaza Strip. Enjoy the cool evening strolls in the Hamas tunnel. Warm afternoons on handsome Jared Island Beach. Go to the Middle East. Israel's Netanyahu says he approved the expansion of war. and talks on deal to end it. He did both. He's starting it and ending it. Hamas accepts temporary ceasefire. Okay. Israel to call up 60,000 reservists. Oh boy. Asia. North Korea has a secret long-range missile base near Chinese border. Okay, so that's another. Actually, that's a long success. So that's uh, uh, a longer term, kind of a longitudinal study of Trump's successful deals. That shows the long term success of the deals that he makes with North Korea when he was holding hands and falling in love with Kim. North Korea now has a secret long range missile base that could fucking hit us. Nice. The UK. Oh, look at JD Vance. JD Vance. He's so amazing and so smart, but he'll never be president. Or will he? Police helicopter down by a drone in Colombia. Wow, it's getting dangerous. Europe is losing, yeah, because they're losers. Trump is a winner. America's a winner. America's gonna win the World Cup while Trump's president. Russia, India, Oceania, more in the worldy. Can't do business. Target's new CEO has got this work cut out for him. Hooters, Hooters, Hooters. Looked at some of those articles. Let's go to opinion. Let's hear some opinions. Trump holds the cards. I'm not playing cards. We're not playing cards. How to think about Trump and Ukraine? There's nothing to think about, Peggy Noonan. Come down off your ivory tower. Get down on the front lines and see what it's really like. Gerrymandering race to the bottom. Yeah. JD Vance, there he is again. The big and not beautiful bill for Trump tariffs. He's amazing. Oh, Trump's unoriginal. He's amazing. Employer cracked eyes, buy times for reforms that never come. Ugh. Lifestyle. New quiz. We saw that. Baby, we were born to run. Travel. There's some cars. Relationships. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot this week. There's Sydney Sweeney. America's sweetheart. Oh, look at this. You want to pick up skateboarding in midlife? All right. Yes. I love skateboarding. Skating is an excellent full body workout. Prepared to look uncool. Wear a helmet. Be the oldest person attempting an ollie. Author Deborah Stoll, second from right, in a blue helmet, and Laurie Hewitt Wright watched Kelsey and I skateboard at the Cove Skate Park in Santa Monica. Ah. The author recounts taking up skateboarding at the middle age to bond with her niece during the pandemic. She shares the challenges of being an older skater, including feeling uncool and dealing with mansplaining. Despite the difficulties, she emphasizes the benefits of skateboarding, such as fitness, friendship, and fun. The security guard at LaGuardia Airport looked at her skateboard, looked around for a child. Not finding one, looked back at her and asked, "How old are you?" 50. You skate? And I skate. Skateboarding as a middle aged woman is often a lesson in abject humiliation. Except when it's a lesson in not caring what other people think, because you're a middle aged woman who no longer cares what other people think. The author first stepped onto the skateboard as a way to bond with her then 14-year-old niece in the summer of 2020. That's right. How Trump's first golden era ended. They were both whiling away the pandemic in Amagansett, a tiny Long Island beach town most people pass through on their way to Montauk. I promised the teacher how to surf. For the first meeting at the boardwalk, she came gliding up on a blue waffle skateboard. I was surprised. I didn't know you skated. I looked at the author and said, "Duh, of course I do. Yeah. I'll make you a deal. I'll teach you to surf if you teach me to skate." They became inseparable. They were inseparable. They pushed each other. They tried things that scared them both. Things that left them breathless, bruised, and invigorated. When real life resumed and she went back to school, Arthur went back to skate camp. Then made sure to move near a skate park in Brooklyn, the obvious trajectory for an aging Gen Xer. The author is ready to offer some hard truths about being past the appropriate age for juvenile activity. You can also explain why, despite the snickers and stares and perpetually blooming bruises, it's still worth it. Now, let's get ready to rock. Now, let's get ready to skate. Yeah, you will be the oldest person in the skate park. Expect punk kids at skate parks to rip around you while you push around at half speed. They'll shake their heads as you stand at the top of a ramp talking to yourself. You got this. You can do this. You're 3 feet off the ground. Then pop it. Then pop up beside you and drop in like it's nothing. No big deal. Anyone can do it. It will gaze incredulously as you attempt over and over again to pop the board onto a rail and slide along. It will silently show you how it's done. Oh my, don't little if you keep skating ass, but you meet another woman who's skates. This is no country for old women, except when you find other old women are meant to skate with. 52-year-old skater Jeannie Wong, the San Francisco radiation therapist, said she met up with a guy who used to skate with when she was a kid. Men are gonna mansplain. Shirtless, sweaty, young dudes in Brooklyn will tell you how to do whatever it is you're already doing. Teenage boys in Florida will tell you you're doing a kick turn, and you have to do a kick turn because they think you didn't know you're doing a kick turn. Skate dads in LA will tell you unintelligibly as you head bush by, and when you don't respond, they spend the rest of the session sneaking and being at you every turn, man, from California. But if you keep skating, at some point you meet another woman who skates, and then another, and pretty soon you and your high vibe tribe won't give a hoot what anyone thinks. 43-year-old San Diego skater nurse Kelsey Nye says when she was 23, she was definitely more insecure. She would try to skate when nobody was watching. Having girls who skate with really boosts your confidence, and you end up learning more because you don't care who's watching. You will look uncool. Wow, look at her. She looks pretty cool, actually. She does look cool. If you do care, if you choose skin over pads, you fall, and you will fall. It's going to take 100 years to heal. Yeah, yeah. The agony of recovery is offset by the way your body looks. Skateboarding, while it doesn't seem conventionally sporty, is a great full body workout. It's a lot of cardio. You will find your people. Look at this. Look at these rad cool skate chicks. And you will be forever young. That's the truth to be told. That's Camp Gold. Truth be told, I'm playing this. I think I played this like 3 weeks in a row. I love this record. Get one more in. Been a long day. Weekend news wind down. Gosh, that's a good record. Okay. Can't do the Financial Times. Let's get right to it. Let's get to the time. Financial Times weekend. Fictional past and imagined future. Special issue of worlds inspired by photography. Oh, that looks like the Metro North on the Hudson River. On the right here, Emma Thompson stepping into crime drama. Staying on the right, we cannot wait to act. Green champion Mafalda Duarte. Myths that made Putin's war. Open to next door. Open up to next door. Last resort Saudi ski plane goes off piste. Saudi ski plan. Asian Winter Games going to be hosted by Saudi Arabia. Powell hints at rate cut. Get your rate cut here. Rate cuts. Get your rate cuts. Going from left to right, Macron makes his mark on Paris with Louvre revamp. George Pompidou gave an inside-out art center. Valéry Giscard d'Estaing turned an old train station into a home for the Impressionists, and François Mitterrand gave the Louvre a pyramid. Now President Macron is making his mark on Paris, revisiting a Louvre under strain from 8 million visitors a year. Wow. His $800 million revamp aims to fix heat fluctuations that imperil the art and end overcrowding, giving the Mona Lisa a new home in the process. FBI raids the home of ex-Trump aide John Bolton to cut his mustache.
let's see like the world like in review from like a bro who's like took a couple of classes in college in the world. But Canada is going to drop 25% tariff. Tariff's like a tax for many U.S. goods, but steel duties remain. German economy, it's like shrinking, except for like Oktoberfest when they get a boost. I hear it's lit. Probably going to go this year. Chinese troops put through their paces ahead of big military parades. So they got like so many people in the army. Americans spend far less of their leisure time head down in a book. It's like whatever. You could just get like AI to read it and summarize it. Thanks, Chad, Matt. Zelensky hits at Moscow's demands. Russia does not want, will not want to end the war now. Louvre woos the rich and famous. Postal Service worldwide frees parcel deliveries to the U.S. Duties increased. Duties increased. The UN calls on employers to help staff reduce dehydration risk. What? Employers should draw up heat stress plans that include posting urine color charts in toilets. Create areas where workers can immerse their arms in cool water and monitor body weight loss from dehydration, the world's top health and climate agency says. Oh, come on. RFK, do you believe that? Most people getting dehydration. Saudi Arabia feels the heat over Winter Games deadline. They don't know much about snow. They never seen snow before. Huh?
There's our friends. Here's our allies. Their next door neighbor that they invaded. Experience of famine. First deal made. Thailand's former prime minister cleared of defaming the monarchy. Laura Loomer. Washington insiders puzzle over how conspiracy theorists acquired such sway in D.C. Yeah, because we're in the world where it's like truth. Nobody believes anything that's true. You gotta be fucking crazy. After decades in which economic technocrats were given a large degree of autonomy, they're under intense pressure from the Trump administration, which wants greater influence over policymaking. Probably all talk. You can't get too deep into that shit. Too dangerous. Too dangerous to start manipulating interest rates, and there's always a lag, and it isn't like a light switch. No, that's dangerous. I think that's just Trump just talking shit. Great British statistics scandals. The opinion Trump must not reward Putin for his aggression in Ukraine. Mike Pompeo, I don't even recognize you, man. The guy lost so much weight. Like he doesn't have the same oomph anymore. I don't believe him when he's a skinny guy. Corporate egg freezing won't break the glass ceiling. Or it won't crack an egg for a omelet either. Shadow Ministers videos of migrant camps and fair dodgers draw an audience. Robert Jenrick, the vile star of the conservative right. Basic things were impossible. He realized the British state was totally broken. Totally broken. Companies in market. Shipping line denies Iran ties after UN sanctions hit vessels. U.S. stablecoin law spurs UAE plans for digital euro, but only after holiday. JP Morgan will pay Malaysia $300 million to settle. Sold. Wow. 3-minute battery swaps offer China's EV drivers faster alternative to charging. Wow. Okay. I guess that's a pretty good option.
Jeffries tell bankers to collaborate for top bonuses. Really, this is like so remarkable. I mean, after the pandemic, this building went up. JP Morgan's new fortress headquarters. Really, it's like the biggest fucking building. And it's a bank. It's like an international bank that just got bigger and bigger. Rewind to the financial crisis. And it's just like this thing got bigger, stronger. Oh my god. OnlyFans hands record $700 million dividend to owner. And some nice videos. Or whatever, it's movies or Soho House confronts a dilemma off the retreat from public markets. The dilemma is how amazing exclusive they can be. Katzenberg backs Musk's brother's drone venture. Hedge funds position against European autos as tariffs bite. OpenAI and Anthropic clamp down on SPVs. Activist Sevian takes $300 million stake in Dulux paint maker AxoNobel. Santander signals growing Wall Street ambition with lead roles on SPAC deals. On Wall Street, reuniting the old crew at a new bank is tough. Getting the band back together sounds great, but you can leave a trail of value destruction. This is Citibank and Citigroup and JP Morgan. Hey. All right, good news. Only 2 things down. Everything is up, baby. Up, 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 and away. FT Week and big tech stocks are sending a warning of overexuberance. So you just got to know when to time it, baby. You got to know when to fold them. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. We'll leave the life and arts for your own read on the train or something. Read it on your own. Read it without me. Everybody read. Everybody check out Weekend News Wind Down every Saturday, and everybody scream for Florence and the Machine. Everybody scream. A new one. Weekend News Wind Down. Saturday, August 23rd. We're off next week. We're off, and away. Labor Day weekend. We'll pick it up after that. Peace, y'all. Florence and the Machine. Everybody scream. Everybody watch Weekend News Wind Down.
Get on stage, and I call her by her first name. Try to stay away, but I always meet her back at this place. She gives me everything, I feel no pain. I break down and get up and do it all again. Because never enough. She makes me feel loved. I can come here and scream as loud as I want. Yeah, I don't have to be quiet. Yeah, I don't have to be kind. Extraordinary is normal all at the same time. But look at me run myself ragged. We're not on the stage. But how can I leave you when you scream in my head? And needing go like tambourine. A bouquet of brambles, all twisted and tangled. I'll make you sing for me. I'll make you scream. Here I take a sky, coming by full size. I just so that you can just begging and screaming my screaming my the songs and the attractions, the promise, the needle, protecting from evil, the magic and the mystery, the sign of mystery, always it comes to me.